It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. A beautiful morning out there in Lauderdale by the Sea. I had a great weekend myself. I hope you did as well. It is Monday morning. Man, it's the start of a new week, and the Silver Squeeze, May 1st, actually officially started on Saturday, I believe, or was it Sunday? I forget. No less, we are in day one of our great silver squeeze here. War day number one is what I'm going to call it. I've been around in this business for quite some time. I've been doing this full time since 1977. Hold on, full time? No, I started working part time for my father in '77, but not too long after that, a few years after that, I did start working full time in the industry. So I've been around. Again, I'm not a paper trader. I'm not a commodities broker, paper trader, or anything like that. I deal in only physical gold, silver, and platinum bars and coins. I've been doing this again for a long time, so that's where my expertise lie, and that's probably where, if you listen to me any place, that should be the place you should listen to me on buying physical, how to buy physical, what to buy, the prices that you should be paying. That's my expertise. Now, when it comes to cryptos and other things, it is not my expertise. I do delve into those subjects. I do delve into charts. I do delve into ETFs and all this different stuff. But again, not my expertise. However, I'm smarter than the average bear on some of these subjects as well, and I'm learning just like you. So I do make mistakes in some of those areas on occasion. But when it comes to physical bars and coins, I don't make mistakes very often, and you're going to get it straight from me. And as I said, I am a local brick and mortar only, so I don't deal in the mail. If you don't live in, in South Florida, then you can't deal with me because I don't do through the mail. No point in calling me, no point in sending me any messages. Unfortunately, again, I'm only a brick and mortar local business. So if you're looking to do business, I recommend you find a local dealer. Well, what's in today's show? Today's going to be about the silver squeeze, obviously. War day number one is what I'm calling it. I'm going to take a look at spot prices here, and then I'm going to go over to Zero Hedge and see what articles are on there, and gata.org. Just, again, that's on your homework list. You probably read it over the weekend before I even got to it. If you've been listening to me, you read it before I'm even going to show it to you here. So good for you, too. You get an A+ if you did. So we're going to look at gata.org. And then, interestingly enough, I'm going to look at Wall Street Silver, the Wall Street Silver Reddit website. Apparently, thanks to a reader out there, made a comment, I was looking at the wrong Reddit forum for a little while now, a much smaller Reddit forum that was like around 7,000 people, still quite a bit. And I was still getting some information from there, but the commenter told me, hey, listen, Brian, you're looking at the wrong Reddit group. Gave me the right Reddit group, which I think is around 60 or 70,000 subscribers on there. No less, we're going to get to that here in a little bit after we're done with talking about these things. And then I'm going to look over comments from Friday's show, talk about a few comments, or answer a few comments from Friday's show. And then we'll go into what the best deal of the day is, and my closing, of course. Well, let's start out with prices. I normally don't do that, but Monday morning, boy, my coin has been pretty scary, right? Mostly on Friday morning, it showed a bear, and we were slightly in bearish territory on Friday morning, I believe. I think by the time it closed, it was slightly down, both for gold and silver. But this morning's coin shows a bull market, and it certainly looks like that, although the end of the day is not over, and I still question what is going to be going on with this silver squeeze and silver going up in price. And again, there's a few things that don't make sense here. If we got a silver squeeze Monday, why are platinum and gold both up as well? Anyway, I'll get to that. I'll get to my opinion on what's going on and what the silver squeeze is all about and what it might actually do and what it won't do. Again, my opinions. Let's just take a look at spot prices real quick here. We opened up earlier at 1766 last night sometime, and well, hold on, 1779 was New York. The closing price on Monday for New York was, or Friday was 1779. The high was 1791, so quite a range there. Same thing with silver, 26.26 to 26.54. So maybe I was wrong about the coin showing a bear in the morning. I got to be honest with you, I forget if it closed high or low on Friday, so forgive me. No less, the coin does show a bull today, and it's certainly looking that way, like I said. But look at these ranges here. Now we're going to see what the world spot prices opened up last night. We had a low at 1766, a low at 2584, and 1195, sub $1,200 platinum. Again, which provides a great opportunity to do what? Buy the frickin' dips. So when the opportunity arises, buy the frickin' dips, folks. That's if you're not bought in already. If you're already bought in, don't worry about it. Don't lament the fact that, oh, it's a little bit lower. I wish I could have bought at a lower price. Listen, whatever prices you're at, I don't care if you bought at the high last year of gold and silver and platinum. I don't care. If you bought at the high in the last couple years of precious metals, relax. Don't panic and worry about your metals. You're going to do very well with it. And remember what I've always said. This is not about getting rich. I mean, you can make a lot of money in precious metals, but this is about wealth preservation. If you want to get rich, you're listening to the wrong guy, and you're probably in the wrong market if you want to get rich quick. I should say rich quick. If you're looking to get rich quick, you're in the wrong market most likely. Again, precious metals is all about wealth preservation, and we always talk about that. So sub $2,000 gold, I don't care what level you bought it. You're fine. Stop panicking. If you're one of those folks that you paid $2,000 and $2,100 at the high last year, and you paid $35 an ounce for silver or something or higher than that last year. Again, providing you were paying a reasonable premium. The problem with a lot of the new folks out there that you're paying ridiculous premiums for stuff. And again, I'll get to that in the latter part of the show as well. So we do have up markets today, both gold, silver, and platinum. Looks good to me. I like it. I mean, I was kind of surprised. I thought we were going to see a down market. This is the start of the week of it, the Asian holidays, or I think it's a Chinese holiday, so buying should be a little more tepid than what we're seeing here. So I'm not quite sure what we are seeing here, but again, I'll get into that in a little bit. I suspect that if we were just looking at a silver squeeze only Monday and that the silver was shooting up by itself, the silver squeeze might make a little bit more sense. But again, gold and platinum are up as well today too. What does that mean? I don't know. But again, on the short term, don't try to pick short-term goals. I mean, if you do, you want to be a day trader. Again, you're listening to the wrong guy, and you might be in the wrong market. However, if you can day trade precious metals and get away with the VIG that you have to pay or the premiums or whatever trading charges you have to, even if you do it on paper and you're making money, great. Man, you found yourself a niche, and you obviously are an expert. But again, that's not what we do here. Our show and our videos are all about medium to long-term investments and about wealth preservation. So let's move along. I'm kind of liking the numbers up here. 1788, 2650, 1228. Oh, it looks like the electricity just flashed. Thank God I got batteries on this thing. So let's take a look and see what else we've got going here. Give me 1 second. There we go. And let's go into ZH right here. Zero Hedge. And pardon me 1 second. Everything's restarting up here because we just had a big power flash. What do they call those? Brownouts? Well, monetary base to double, silver squeeze rages on. I'm going to click that article real quick. I'm not going to read it. Again, there's two websites that I give you for your homework, your daily homework, your weekly homework. One is Zero Hedge, not because I think everything in it is true and correct and great, just because it gives you a whole bunch of different viewpoints and different narratives, not the single narrative that you get from corporate media. This is why I like to read it myself, and this is why I recommend you guys have Zero Hedge on your page. Until we find some other sources that give you multiple sources and multiple viewpoints, I like this site. I'm going to do ums today. Monetary base to double, silver squeeze rages on. 10 years ago yesterday, silver made a run at still seemingly ancient record high price of $50 an ounce. In 2021, the spot price appeared to be stuck at $26 an ounce. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. The fiat US dollars monetary base has exploded in 2011. Silver should have a great years upcoming. I agree with that 100%. We're on pace to move them double in the past 2 years once you reach the New York Fed repo loan fiasco. Now that goes into a whole different thing I have not read yet. However, some folks have been saying, well, silver hasn't done anything. It's stuck in the $26 range. Well, yeah, it's been stuck in the $26 range for several months now. But don't forget, last year we made a permanent, in what appears to be a permanent move, a 40% up move in 2020. We went from that 12 to 16. Remember when it was, people saying it's $26 forever now. Remember when it was $13 to $15 literally forever for like 4 or 5 years. Well, we're out of that range. I don't think you're going to see that range again. Maybe in the paper price, you might see $13 silver again. Maybe it's possible. And the way it could be possible is if we have another 2008-like crisis where all the paper prices, everything online just crashes, the markets crashes. Because when the 2008 market crashed, I was surprised that the silver and gold prices crashed too. But again, not for long. They almost instantaneously went up and went to make record highs while the rest of the market just meandered along. But again, a crisis like that did knock the shit out of gold and silver and platinum. The thing is that you couldn't find it anywhere, you couldn't buy it. Almost a similar situation we're in right now, but more protracted. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it. However, good article here, monetary base to double, silver squeeze rages on. Definitely take a look at that on your ZH here. Baby Bitcoin born, I don't know what that is. I'm going to stay out of the Bitcoin here. Even though that says gold fix there. Let's take a look at some of the articles here. Oh, the coming super cycle, facts and fantasies about commodities. Interestingly enough, another good article on ZH I'd recommend reading. I've been talking about this for the last year, off and on, more recently, more often, I guess. And I think we're in a commodities boom right now. I think that this article kind of correctly points us out and says why and how. But I believe we're in a commodities boom right now. Boom. I mean, look at the price of copper, the price of nickel, the price of all these different commodities that are used in manufacturing and products that we use today. And I'm not talking about just the fact that we're closing 2020 is the reason that that's going to be a catalyst to help shoot the commodities boom right through the roof. The catalyst was 2020, but the reason is not 2020. It's not because of 2020. 2020 is just a catalyst that is going to set off that bomb, I guess, the commodities bomb I think that we're going to see coming up here. And I think it's going to apply everything. I think it's going to be oil. I think it's going to be all types of different metals. I think it's going to be agriculture, cultural. Again, the real product, not the paper products. I believe we're going to have some big issues in ETFs and paper products. I think at some point people are going to realize a lot of them are a sham, that the Wall Street complex is nothing more than a giant, what is it, Las Vegas. And so it's basically a giant casino. And that's what Wall Street has basically become, is a giant casino. They make bets even. I mean, what the F? I mean, I thought Wall Street and stocks and equities were always supposed to be about buying, making a stake, being a part owner in a company that really makes real products and makes cool things and makes real profits, not buying companies that are big pyramid scams like a lot of the tech companies are and a lot of companies are right now. All these companies are big pyramid schemes, even though they make products like Apple and everything like that. Some of them don't even make products. They don't even offer services. They just do advertising like Facebook and the social media giants. However, money is looking for places to go. Free, cheap, fiat money that's being printed endlessly all over the world, not just the United States, is looking for places to go, places to invest in, return. That cheap money that people are borrowing for 1%, 2%, whatever the heck it is, cheap money, not us, I'm talking about the wealthy people. So we're not in that club, folks. And if you want to know what the club is, just ask George Carlin or watch some of my old shows. But we're not in that club. But the club that can borrow cheap money is looking at this cheap money and saying, well, hell, man, there's got to be returns out there more than what we're borrowing it at. So they're just shoveling money into these companies. They're not shoveling money in these companies because they're making a great phone or they're making a great service or they're doing great advertising. They're shoveling the money in the companies because everyone else is. And again, it's a pyramid scheme. So the people at the top are going to make the most money. The people on the bottom are going to get stomped on. And remember what I told you, the same thing with cryptocurrencies. You got fish and you got whales. Which are you in that particular market? Well, chances are we're fish. So the coming super cycle in commodities, good article. And again, highly recommend you read it. Again, if I started reading these articles, folks, we're going to be into an hour, 2-hour shows. I'm trying to shorten these things up a little bit so I don't bore the hell out of you doing something you can do yourself, which is called what? Reading. So but I will go over some key points in some of these things just to get you to read them. Chris Marcus, why did CFTC help suppress silver futures prices? Well, I can tell you the reason that CFTC did help suppress silver prices. There's two reasons, and I think both of them are very valid. And this applies to all government regulators. Anyone feels safe because a market is regulated. It is not regulated, folks, for you or I. It is regulated against you and I. More or less, it is regulated in the favor of huge companies, okay? So, in my opinion, why does CFTC help suppress the silver future prices? Because they work for these large entities. They don't work for us. They're covering the asses of these large entities. And the proof of that is that when we click this article, I'll do a little bit of reading for you, but the proof is in the pudding here. Regulate. You ask Bernie Madoff. I've said this a couple times in the last couple months, but Bernie Madoff would tell you how useless regulators are. He talked about doing his giant billion plus dollar scam right under the noses of regulators. They come to his office. They either A, didn't bother to look because they were so enamored with the man, or B, they were too inept to look. I think it was a little bit of both. Same thing with CFTC. I believe the CFTC, the reason they don't look at manipulation in silver prices is because the people that work for the CFTC, the regulators themselves, actually have worked or do work in conjunction with these large entities. Again, they're working for them in their favor. That's why you don't see any results with regulators at all. They're useless as tits on a log. I'm sorry, but it's true. In an open letter to the acting chairman of the U.S. Commodities Future Trading Commission, Rostin Behan, published tonight, Chris Marcus. Okay, let me go into a little bit more of it down here, where the whole article, the gist of the article is down here. Chris asks, or Marcus tells Behan, you made the following statement: the resiliency and market structure of the futures market was able to tamp down what could have been a worse situation in the silver market. Now, this is a regulator that said this. A regulator said the resiliency in the market. He was bragging about how they tamped down the silver squeeze, the potential rise of silver going up. This is a regulator saying this now. A regulator telling people that, natural forces, people out there buying physical, was going to cause a big issue. And he's glad that the big entities were able to squash you guys, squash that silver squeeze people, squash the people that are trying to make that happen. So here, if you think that the regulators are on your side, read this article and you'll find out how frickin' useless they are. And again, this talks about ETFs, how ETFs are used to manipulate gold and silver markets, because there's way more paper out there than there is actually gold and silver. It doesn't exist, folks. They probably have 6 billion ounces in paper that's not backed by any metal. Now, I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but probably not too far off from that. Years and years ago, over a decade or more plus, I remember seeing a video where a gentleman was talking about how the ETFs are leveraged 100 to 1. So so you may think you own with SLV, GLD, or some of those other ETFs. You may think that you own an ounce of silver, an ounce of gold, but not really. If there is gold or silver in that account, you and 100 other people or more probably own it. So that's how many, you don't own it one for one. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Marcus letters, again, good read here. I'm skipping a few things because I do want you to read it, and there's also a YouTube video here that's worth watching as well. Definitely take a read on Chris Marcus, why does CFTC help suppress silver prices? And again, in a nutshell, it's because they're in cahoots with the big entities, and this applies to probably all markets too, and SEC and all these different regulators. Not only are they in cahoots, they're inept. So you got a combination of ineptness and being in bed with the monsters. Let's take a look at deepest backwardization shows 2007. World is short of commodities. It's funny too, because all of a sudden now I'm seeing these articles pop up on online and on the news and stuff like that. They're talking about a commodities boom, that we're heading into a commodities boom. I've been talking about this for 6 months now, that I felt we were, and now I'm starting to see mainstream talk about it. So yeah, I think we are. I think we're heading into. What does that mean for the average Joe? It's not good, folks, and this is why I talk about precious metals as a hedge against inflation. Because now all of a sudden, if your food's costing you double and triple, and your rents are going up, and your cost of living is going up, which it is. Don't be lied to. The CPI is bullshit. The Consumer Price Index and the PPP is bullshit. It doesn't. The PPP is based on the CPI, so that's all nonsense. Trust me on that. So if what it costs you to live triples in value, but your wages stay about the same, you're not doing well. That's just looking worse and worse and worse. However, Again, gold and silver, platinum is a great hedge against that. That's why we promote this stuff here. That's why I promote it. Not simply for me just to make money, even though it's my business. It's a great way to, again, it's a hedge. It's a preservation of your wealth. Let's move down to China. Q1 gold consumption. That's just incredible. The quarter gold consumption in China, 90. That was the first quarter, obviously, up until April, up until recently here. 93% increase. Now, this is written by Reuters, and Reuters pretty much, they're useless, clueless when it comes to precious metals. They just kind of repeat whatever they were told, kind of as you see here. Although the numbers are probably correct, I don't know where they got the numbers from. If they got them from China, they're probably incorrect. It's probably 193%, not 93%, more than likely, because they underreport on certain things like that. And for years, people were saying that Chinese were underreporting their gold storage, and I still think they are to this day. So in the first 3 months, went up 93%. Here's what I like. To pre-pandemic levels, fueled by strong demand for gold jewelries. The jewelry comment again. Now listen, I like the fact that it is kind of jewelry. India and a lot of Asian countries, but what people don't understand, including the people at Reuters and a lot of Americans, a lot of Europeans don't understand, is that it's not jewelry. Their jewelry is different than our jewelry. In India and in China and other places, their jewelry is their store of wealth. They buy jewelry for like, a premium of $50 or $100 over the spot price of gold. Okay, that's how they buy jewelry, just like we buy coins and bars over there. They buy jewelry the same way. So really, it's disingenuous to call it jewelry. And either disingenuous to call it jewelry or just plain ignorant. It's really bullion if you really think about it, and rising investment, which they got right. But gold jewelries, I love that. The implication is that the only need for gold is for jewelry. That's because Indians and Asians buy a lot of jewelry. But again, the stupidity in that comment is people that say that don't realize jewelry is bullion to them. So let's move along here. Now, a good article again, worth reading, and we talked about this for quite some time. I've been talking about how the Chinese are going to lead the asset market, the hard asset market, and gold and silver. And Ken, at some point, if there is further tensions between China and the United States, the Chinese know they're going to be cut out of the U.S. dollar system. We weaponized the U.S. dollar. You know what we did to Iran, what we did to Venezuela, what we did to Libya. We weaponized the dollar, and Russians too. The Russians know that. So they're all going to get rid of the dollar, which is bad for us, bad for the U.S. dollar. The fact that our idiot politicians, both left and right, or they're not left or right, they're just blue or red. There's no left or right to any of these idiots in D.C. Both sides have completely weaponized the dollar, and what they did is they got people to say, I don't want to use the dollar anymore, which has completely fucked us as a country, folks, and economically. Sorry, it's true. So let me move along, because I can talk about that too for the whole day. Some good articles here. Again, you should absolutely, if you're a first-time watcher, this gata.org has to be on your bookmark, has to be. And I'm telling you this, you need to read this once a week, because if you don't know how the game is rigged, who rigs it, how it's played, how it's manipulated, then you will never win in this game. You'll sell when you shouldn't. You'll buy when you shouldn't. And again, that's just my opinion. All right, you ready? I think. Here, I'm going to go over Wall Street. How do you like my little drum roll? I did it right on my desk. I'm going to go over Wall Street silver. Here, I'm going to take a sip of coffee, too, because I just wing through these shows. My mouth is a little dry. Forgive me for 1 second here. Ready? Silence. I love a good cup of coffee, too. Wall Street silver. Okay, at Wall Street silver. For a long time, not a long time, but for a couple weeks, a month or something, I've been looking at the wrong site. But a gentleman turned me onto this, and it appears to have 69 different subscribers. And I've kind of, for the last week, since they showed me this proper site where the real Wall Street silver is, I've been kind of going over this. And you know what I love is I love the enthusiasm. The enthusiasm for precious metals, especially silver right now, is at an all-time high in my lifetime. I've never seen this type of enthusiasm, especially by the younger folks. And this, folks, this is just awesome. I love it. I love watching the enthusiasm. That's the good side to it. Now the downside, and again, downside's not a big deal because there is a learning curve in everything. There's a learning curve in everything, and usually a learning curve at first is very steep. It's like a 45 degree. You start a hobby, you learn something new, job, career, whatever it may be. In the first week or month or whatever it is, your learning curve is really steep because you're getting so much and you're learning so fast and you're getting the basics down. But then it kind of flattens out. Unless you do it full time as a living, your learning curve as a investor will flatten out at some time. Unless you're again doing this like I do, but no less. I love the enthusiasm on the site. It's just incredible. I mean, look, they even bought a billboard. Where is? I saw the billboard, and gosh darn it, where'd that billboard go? There it is. Someone bought a billboard. Look, invest in silver. Now, I saw this earlier on another Wall Street, or I saw this earlier, and the impression was that this billboard was one of those huge roadside billboards that sat up on a highway. But that's what I thought when I looked, because that's what billboards are down here. But this is a small billboard, but no less. Look at the enthusiasm. This is just so cool. I love it. I really do. Again, the enthusiasm in this market is so cool. What I do notice, it is a lot of smaller investors, smaller guys. Again, what I talked about, the learning curve, smaller guys that are at the beginning of this learning curve. And these are the kind of guys I would really like to talk to. All the silver I have at silverstack.com. Well, the first couple things I'd like to recommend, guys, is don't put your real name on your silver stacks. Not because the government's going to confiscate it. If you watch my show on Friday, that's bullshit. Because I don't want you to get robbed. I don't want people to go online and say, look, listen, John Smith has got he's got a couple stacks of silver there, man. We can go over and rob his house or rob him directly. Oops, sorry about that. So that's one of the reasons I don't want you guys listing your investments out there like this gentleman and some of these folks do as well. However, again, if you can do it anonymously somehow, I'm kind of cool with that. Because it is kind of fun. Take a look at this. I mean, this guy, I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, I've dealt in probably millions of ounces in silver in my lifetime, but no less. This is everything to this guy right here, and it's pretty cool. Again, the enthusiasm, the newness, the new people getting into this is just fantastic. What I'm afraid of that they're getting some bad information. I don't want these people to burn out. For example, some of the stackers that I see out here that are buying silver are buying high premium products, premium silver eagles and stuff that's just overpriced. I mean, that's the first big mistake that I think is going to be a big turnoff to the new guys. Because if you're investing and you're brand new and all of a sudden you bought some products and you paid $10 over, $7, $8, when you could have bought them for $4 and $5 over a different product, and then you go to sell because you need to or you had to or whatever, and you realize that you just lost half or more than half your premium because you overpaid for a premium, that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I do see that happening with a lot of these guys because a lot of these guys they're buying overpriced bullion because they don't have good direction. They're given bad advice by YouTube videos, or they're giving, or they're just going out and winging it. That's pretty cool. But again, the enthusiasm out there. See, now here are things like his. As cool as this is not a bullion product. This is a bullion product. Well, maybe not with the happy birthday, but bars and coins that are fairly reasonable price. And again, at the end of the show, I'll tell you what you should be paying on this stuff. Not anymore. But look at this guy's got some gold stacked away in silver. I don't see any great professional advice, and I got to be frank with you. I don't see any real at Wall Street Silver. This site right here with 69,000 sellers. I don't see any real professional advice out here. I don't believe it's my place to go out there and say anything as well. I'd probably get trashed upon to us. You know how forums are sometimes. This gentleman's got 585 ounces, but again, I don't like people posting their names on this. You know, obviously this is not in a bank, sir. You have it at your home. I can tell by the floor. Folks, one thing, keep this stuff close to your vest. If you post anything, you know, I know it's cool and you're proud of what you got there, but just be careful about doing that. That's the first good advice I can tell you. And then looking at some of the products that you guys are buying at Wall Street, I can tell you the second thing is some of you guys are paying way too much premiums for some of this stuff. I can point out the best deals here, the silver bar. None of these are the best deals here. None of these, well, better than some of these other products, but the best deal that this gentleman bought, he's overpaid. Well, I can't say he's overpaid, but typically what they get for these products that I'm going here, all these tubes, those big hockey pucks we call them in the industry, these things have huge premiums. Bars like this would be your best bet. I'm looking at the gold coins here, high premium, high premium, high premium, lower premium Krugerrands that you should be buying. Again, just taking a look over this forum like I have for the last week. Who doesn't like Randy from South Park? I got to tell you, yeah, I'm a South Park watcher. I used to be. But again, looking over this, I don't see, that's kind of cool. That's a cool picture. I don't see too much in here that is really contributes to helping these people make better decisions. Maybe I'll start posting out here a little bit more. But again, I see a lot of bad information out here. Here's a guy that's got the right stuff here. He's buying old silver bars. Hopefully he's paying a cheap premium for them. Again, the thing that I love about this website and the thing that I love about the Wall Street Silver squeeze is the enthusiasm and the young people that are getting involved. That's just awesome. Well, let me move along from there. If you got any questions about any of this and you want to make any comments or anything, please do in the comment section. I'm usually pretty good at answering a few comments. Used to answer every one of them until now all of a sudden there's anywhere from 25 to 70 of them, so a little tougher. You know, we were talking about regulators and stuff back here. And again, if you're a first-time watcher here and you haven't or only watched my video a couple times, one of the things that I constantly say is, because I worry that people say, well, why do I want to be in that market if it's rigged? Why do I want to be in that market if it's manipulated? And you can say that about every market. Hey, listen, your equities, your stock market is rigged and manipulated. Your everything almost that you're involved with is rigged and manipulated by somehow. The key is finding out how, who, why, and all that other good information to become a better player. So that's what I'm always telling you, especially with silver. Don't get disgusted. As long as you're not overpaying, you're in a great frickin' market here. And again, certainly this game is rigged, like all games are rigged. Don't let that stop you. If you don't bet, you can't win. It's one of my favorite sayings, even though I botch it quite often. So, you know, remember this. Certainly the game is rigged. If you don't let that stop you, if you don't bet, you can't win. But I'm going to add to this, don't just bet. Learn how it's rigged, who's doing it, how it's done, and then play the game that way, and you're going to be a much better player. You'll end up better off in the long run. Well, let me take a look at the video comments from last Friday. Not too many, kind of a, well, actually, there was quite a few here. I'm sorry. Again, I remember when I first started doing these videos, and I had a few comments. It was so easy to answer all you guys. And I want to answer each and every one of you because I appreciate every one of you out there, even some of you that said some stuff that's not so nice, but I still appreciate you watching. Let me kind of go over some things here and talk about something. Again, all these people you see right here, I'd like to thank you for watching the show. Let's take a look at, he comes up with some good stuff. Benoit says, if you want to know my opinion, the European powers as well were fully knowing that private cryptos were just a massive Ponzi aimed at sucking most of the wealth worldwide in terms of fiat currency. I'm going to open this up here because so you don't have to go back. You can pause and read what he has to say here. He's got some good points here that I may not argue with. So again, if you want to make some comments to Benoit here in the comment section on today's video, please do so. But I like some of the comments that he's posted out there. He's got some points. Jim C., you as well. One thing I've learned in 60 years, never say never. Absolutely, Jim. Can't argue with that, but you're talking about taking our gold. So I don't, Jim, I think in one area, I don't think they're ever going to come and take your gold, Jim. So I'm going to repeat that comment even though we disagree. Old Man Silver says, never too old to learn. Thank you, sir. And again, here I go. I'm starting to repeat every one of them, but you guys know I appreciate you, even though I skip over you some of them here. Hard for me to do. I want to acknowledge each one of your names, but I can't do it. I'm sorry. Thanks for watching. Again, Silver Stalker. Mark, you're a constant poster out there. Again, here I go. I'm starting to answer everybody. I can't help myself. I want to kind of focus on some questions that we're talking about the show. Gold CIC says, really, Commercial Blvd? Yes. Are you on US 1 and Sunrise? No. And then, again, this is important for me because I am a local dealer and I do local business. So if you live in my area, I don't want you going to the guy on Sunrise and US 1. I'll beat his prices any day. It's pretty easy to do. However, yes, I am on Commercial Blvd between the bridge and A18 right on Commercial. And again, brick and mortar only. I don't do any online business or phone sales. We do cash and carry only up to 10,000, over 10,000, checks only with proper ID. And if you come to me, even if you come from out of state or somewhere, you will get the best deal that you will anywhere locally, and I will beat AppMax, SD, and JM, the three big online guys. I also recommend, if you don't live in my area, that you definitely do go and, government still, let me finish my comment there. I definitely recommend that you shop local. Try not to buy online, even though the three guys I just mentioned, the three online bullion sellers I just mentioned, are good, reputable dealers as far as I know. I still am a big fan of keeping that money local, but whenever you can buy local, do it. Even if you have to pay a little bit more, buy local. Keep that money local. Keep the money in your community. Do not ship your money out of state to out of state sellers unless you absolutely have to and you have no dealers in your state or anyone you can drive an hour to. Again, my recommendation. I'm going to go over quickly. Oh, by the way, Friday's show I was going to tell you is the government stole my gold and silver. My video was more or less about what bullshit gold confiscation is. You know, about when people talk about they don't want to have their name on invoices, they don't want their name anywhere, they don't want, you know, because they're going to confiscate my gold. Well, I did a whole video on why that's bullshit. If you didn't see it, you can watch it on Friday's video right here. Let's talk about what the best deals out there, and I'll wrap this show up. If you are still to this day now. There is a silver shortage. I'm having a hard time locating cheap, good silver products. The truth is, the smart people have bought up all the cheaper products. So only thing left out there are the higher premium, overpriced stuff, in my opinion. However, if you can buy any recognizable forms of silver by a recognizable brand in a recognizable form of 999 silver, and you can pay and even 90%, and you can pay $5 or an ounce or less premium for silver, buy it. That is the best deal. If you're paying more than $6 an ounce in the premium, you're probably paying too much, only because there is still silver available at less than $5 an ounce premium right now. Same thing with gold too. If you're paying more than $100 an ounce premium, you're paying too much. Why are you paying too much? Because there is good recognizable product out there still available for less than $100 per ounce premium, and that's what you should be buying. And again, this is where I have issues with the Wall Street bets and a lot of new people. I don't have issue with Wall Street bets. I'm just concerned that some of them are paying too much, and I don't like the security of them posting their stuff out there for the whole world to see. But no less, if any Wall Street silver people are watching, avoid these type of products unless you can buy them for under $100 an ounce. Avoid maple leafs, avoid eagles for sure. They're overpriced. Again, unless you can, which I doubt you can, because I can't even buy them for less than $100 premium right now. My advice is stick with bars. And where the heck did I go here? All right, there we go. Oh, just had my whole bar pop up and screw up my little page there. Sorry about that. So my recommendation is stick with silver and gold bars like this right here, where you can, because again, you're going to pay under a $5 an ounce premium. Bars, you're going to pay under $100 an ounce premium. It looks like Krugerrands, maples, eagles, those other products that you see in some of these pages are higher. So stick with the cheaper products for now, folks. That includes gold and silver bars. And I think if you have to buy coins, KRs are the cheapest out there and recognizable 1 ounce coin product. That would be my next bet. They're probably around spot plus 110, spot plus 100 or something like that. But again, avoid maples, avoid eagles at the moment. Well, that's really about it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime at 954-493-8811 between the hours of 10 a.m. 4 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Happy to help you with any of your orders. And that's really about it. Make sure you like and subscribe to my videos as well. I really appreciate it. And hey, thanks for watching, folks. Have yourself a great day. Talk to you soon.